Hey guys, so hopefully I can do this one better. I tried to move the light and camera a little further away so I can actually get with my brow. So here's a problem that a lot of people are having, and I want to address it. So a lot of people seem to be having a little bit of difficulty with their upper strokes, which is totally normal because they're really super hard, and that's just how it is. But I want to show you something really quick. Oh my god, my kitten is messing with my feet. All right, let's just say, for example, this is your arch and your tail, right? So what seems to be happening in a lot of cases, see that? Okay, is people are starting to do rows. So what happens and why they appear like they're rows is because you're basically sitting on one line, and these are all the same, and they're just sitting on that line. So then you go back, and then also you're starting too far back, right? So what happens is, if you could see, you're seeing like a row effect, like a wave, right? They're not flowing, but they're separated. So that's what we're going to address today. Let me just get that off so it doesn't get all over my hands, even though I'm already a mess. So I've got my Nano that I've been using for quite some time now, but I think it's starting to actually give, but that's okay. For the purpose of the video, it will do. Okay, so I'm just gonna get in here and do your head strokes, or my head strokes, real quick. Just to get them out of the way. We're not gonna touch on these right now. I'm also using that latex. It's smoother. It's actually a little more realistic, if you want to know, honestly, to human skin, as opposed to the Fee latex, which I know everybody adores, which is fine, but it's nothing compared to real skin, for the record. Alright, so I'm just going to do some bogus T-strokes fast. Alright. Make sure you always draw that spine line, folks, otherwise you're going to have dips. We want to make it straight. So make sure we're in view here. Which we are. Okay, so in order to make these look good, these have to look somewhat good and line up on that line. And just work. And I am trying to work so you can see it and my head is not in the way, because I'm no longer using a cup as my stand. It's now the lamp. Okay, so also one part of why you might be getting rows is you're doing it at the wrong angle. So what you do need to do is turn your latex, and I say turn it almost directly facing your body. Okay, so remember, first one, Little guy, little baby. Second one, don't put it right on top, but pretty close. Come off that line. You're gonna get longer. Not curving down. They still have a weird straightness to them, but they are facing down. If that makes any sense. And for your tail, you want to be on that line, but come off it just a little so you can make your stacks at the end. So then we're gonna go back away from your body, or not away, but facing like you're looking right onto it. Like I said, I'm trying not to be on top of this brow so you can see it. But forgive me, because I am a little far away from it. I will master this mode of filming. I don't know when, but it will happen, I promise. Jesus, that's pretty bad. But the bottom strokes right now are pretty irrelevant because the purpose of this video is seriously just to show you how not to get those waves. Okay, so here we go. So again, ignore that. Turn it more to your body. I'm actually gonna wipe my blade off a little. I keep grabbing too much pigment. Are we on there? Can you see? Okay, good. So, also, when you're doing this, I want you to make sure and be aware of the pigment you're actually putting on your blade. If you have too much, it's going to be harder for you to see what you're actually doing. And if that's even a big problem for you, you know, some people really do just like to put in their strokes and mask at the end and really get the pigment in the cuts, and that's totally fine. But I mean, really, you should be learning how to make strokes with pigment on your blade, but just make sure it's like a minuscule amount. Okay, I hope that's a tiny little bit. Okay, so baby stroke. Remember, this is our spine line, and this is probably one of the most important parts of your brow when you're doing it on latex, because you want to keep this straight. You always want to keep this area straight. If you don't, you're going to have dips, and it's kind of going to look jagged. So first thing is first, we're going to go in there, and this is the baby one. We're just going to put one additional stacking stroke and bring it on to your spine line. Okay? The second one, we're going to go very, very close to that first one, as close as you can get without crossing it. You're going to meet and bring it down. Not down, but towards you. Again, get as close as you can to that first line up there. Meet, pull. Pull. Now this is where the good part comes in. This is why that spine line is really important. So you can start your strokes on that spine line and meet. And pull down. And also another thing, don't end here. Here's your stroke, right? Don't end it like that on the brow, because then you're going to have like these things that look like stray hairs everywhere. Okay? So the next one, we're going to get as close as we can. Oh, my head is not in the way. Get as close as we can to that first or the second stack. Again, we're doing the same thing, getting as close as we can, meeting, pulling down. Close as you can, meet, pull down. So the object of these is to always lengthen. We don't want like crazy long hairs, right? But we want to extend them. Next one. Pull. Meet. Pull. As close as you can. Pull. As close as you can. Meet. Pull. Next one. Again, go as close as we can to this line. Meet the line, pull.
You're not going anywhere dressed like that. Why? You know why. Dog pound, baby. Right.
Now, at some point, you're going to have this issue where you're running into your tail stroke. So what do you do at that point? Meet them. I'm actually going to wipe this so I could see because I smeared my pigment. Next one, as close as we can. Pull. Pull. And also, I will say, I just said this to somebody today. You know, when you're concentrating on these so much, I think that's what happens when you get those perfect little waves. You're concentrating so hard, and then all the lines start to meld together and look like one. But if you don't, and you kind of make it a fluid motion, you're gonna be better off. Okay, so keep in mind this was not a perfection brow, which I will do later when I can figure out how to get my head up on the latex and use my stand. But the whole point was to show how not to get a row or a wave looking like upper strokes. So again, not perfect, and that's okay. But instead of going like see how that's ending up looking like one row, right? So then you go to start your next one, and let's just say your point is here, okay? You're going here. And making these little guys. Okay, so now you can see how that would look like a wave. Or a row, however you want to say it, whatever. But what we want to do is take a line. I'm going to start one row, pull down, pull down, pull down. So now, say that that's your next one. You want to get it as close as you can to this one. Again, without crossing it.
Well, the matchup is much easier, my friends, this week against Atlanta. We've given up 4 straight top 10 quarterbacks. The only thing stopping Jameis Winston from putting up a big stat line is all of the fantasy analysts out there loving him and the fantasy guy striking the stat deck, but the stats say start Jameis Winston this week and Stockton out Corey Davis. This is a guy that after he had a huge game against the Eagles, I said sell high.
I'm literally just trying to demonstrate
This is a wide receiver that I would be fading. In fact, is there a single
in a better way.
whose stock is not down right now?
Marcus, I just checked my 401k. I'm gonna need a minute. Can you help me out here?
Yeah.
And this is also, just for the record, like a good exercise. As close as we can. Meet it. Pull down. I mean, whether you want to do it with your pencil or your blade, to literally just sit here and create a chain of these guys, or a web. And you'll get that motion real fast to the point where you're not even thinking about it anymore.
Look, if your brokerage account's taking a beating, get yourself some James Conner, because rumors of his demise have been greatly exaggerated. Of course, after bursting onto the scene, replacing Le'Veon Bell in week 1, he had nearly 30 points, but his totals have declined every week since, less than 7 points in week 4. But he bounced back.
All right, so do you see the difference between here to here? Let's just say we put in another row here, right? Starting too far away. And see, even by habit, I just went too close. But I think what's happening is, rather than pulling them down, you're just like staying on this straight line here, which is gonna make them go brump, 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 and they're gonna be very, very distinct. And it's not gonna pass. It's not what they wanna see. But at the end of the day, I kind of hope this helped explain in a little bit of a way what you should be doing. But yeah, they should be, you know, longer and more to the side, not curved down. When you curve down, you're going to get this wavy effect. If you pull it, it's going to be more long. And it'll look like what they want. So that's that. It's late. I'm going to bed. Good night.